What's up, dudes? It's the mother freaking Deke. I'm out in the shop. Got a sweet project today. I've laid out the old arsenal. I've opened up the weapons locker and I've appropriately laid them out, but I feel like it is missing one item. Here is the arsenal that I have right now. I got the black tip peen, the grandfather hatchet, the tap, the OG, the warhammer, and my favorite, the Corona killer. I'm the king of feng shui. With that being said, I feel like my collection of hammers and weapons and glory is missing one very important item. And what is that? It's a freaking BFH. I don't have a master persuader, so today we build a 12-pound big swinging D. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. First things first, I've got to, it's a little too shiny for me. Good find, but it's a little bit too shiny. So let's finish this thing accordingly and let the process begin. Taking it to the belt sander, time to get moving. I'm pumped. These are my favorite. I haven't shot a weapons or a hammers video in a minute, so it is time. Let's get to it. To the belt sander. Yeah, dudes. Kind of a crisp, brushed finish on the flat surfaces. Very happy with that. Beautiful. Now it's time to do one of my favorite pastimes, and that would be scrap bin diving. That's my shiz. I love going to the scrap bin and going, let's make a weapon, dudes. So yeah, I'm gonna pull some stuff out of the scrap bin. Let's see what we can come up with. Here we go. Yes, material officially sourced. Let's get to chopping. To the jet. Sweet, glorious, yes. Parts are made, they're cleaned up. Gonna be crisp. Where we at, dudes? Where we at? Time to fit the handle? Let's get it tacked in. Let's fit the handle and tack it in. This is an important step. Let's go. Holy canola Moses. Gosh dang, boys. Gosh frickin' dang it. It is seriously like trying to shove a square peg in a round hole. You gotta bust out all them tricks, dude. You gotta bust out them tricks. A little bit of heat, dude. Jeez, la frickin' Moses, dudes. I'm telling you, sometimes it does not go well, and sometimes it slides right in. This one went pretty well. Took a little persuasion, but wouldn't be right if it didn't, because this hammer is the great persuader, the great motivator, the I don't want to move, you gonna mover. That's what this thing is, and right now, the handle is in. The handle is in. Feeling psyched? Time to get to tacking. Let's tack this thing in, dude. I think I'm gonna tack all the pieces in, and after I tack them in, I'll show you guys. But I'm telling you, the fit on some of these are a little sloppy. So time to bust out the old gap in the old gap game, because that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to gap some big frickin' gaps, dude. Dare I say that a welder's worst enemy is a gigantic gap? Mind the gap, mind the gap. I got you. This though, when you scrap bin diving, you get by with what you got. So we're gonna silly B stack. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I said it. I said it. Where are we at? 332 silly B. Ooh. This is the go-to, my dudes. When you're building weapons of destiny, persuaders, and many other items, silly B is the answer. And for this one, I'm gonna start with 332. And if it gets wild, if these gaps get wild, you'll see me trickle on over and grab some 1/8 inch. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna gap this thing. I do not care. It's a fun hammer of destiny. It is a persuader. So I'm gonna persuade these gaps to be closed with Silly B. So that's my frickin' plan, dudes. That's my plan. I'm looking forward to it. Don't throw shade at these tacks. They're gonna be kind of big because some of these gaps are kind of big. And sometimes when the gap is big, you have to freaking tack it with a crazy large tack, okay? So, look forward to that. But I'm out here, I'm psyched. I'm so pumped, dude. This thing's gonna move mountains. This shall move maybe, maybe not. Here's my plan. 332 Silly B, possibly 1/8 inch Silly B. AC frequency, 90% balance. Wanna lay clean ones. But my brothers of the multi-process life, fear not, because you can always weld silicon bronze on DC. I just find that when I run it on AC, my initial product is slightly cleaner. 90% in the negative, 10% in the positive. That would be a little bit of cleaning action as I'm going along. So anyway, that's the plan. Chitter chatting. But I'm gonna get to tacking because let the fun part begin, dude. I'm gonna do it. And I'm just gonna tack it all. And then I'm gonna show you dudes that the fit on this thing is not super great, but we can tack chasms of gigantic proportions with TIG, with a little pedal control, a little pedal wiggle. We're putting it in. That was a lot of chatting just to say that it's time to tack. Let's go. Holy frickin' shiz, dudes. Some of these gaps are going to be gnarly. They're gnarly, but man, it's technically, when you're doing little jobs like this, when you're building random stuff for yourself, like you're exercising. Because ask anybody out there, you will find yourself in a position there's no way to close that gap. And you just gotta step up. You gotta freaking put up or shut up. And you gotta gap that sucker, because we gotta close that. Let's go. What are you gonna do? Cry about it? Recut it? Ain't happening. We're out of material. Let's go. It does happen. What we're doing here is practically exercise. This is the CrossFit of welding. Maybe. Now I know it gets more gnarly than this, but silicon bronze flows very easily, very nicely. Gigantic gaps. Gigantic. But fun, dude. Fun, man. That's holy frickin' shiz, dudes. That's the shiz. So, let's look at this frickin' nightmare project. First of all, I'm just gonna show you some of these gaps and talk about them. Let's do it. Starting with the head itself, they're tight. Obviously, the gap's tight, can take plenty of heat. The welds will lay quite nicely around the base of the head. Now going to chromier, we get something like this. See that, dude? It's gonna look so good ground, but I know those welds, man, they could leave you wanting. But look at the size of those gaps. You say, Deco, how big are they? Let's pull a tape, shall we? We're going quarter gap. We're going frickin' 3/16 gap on this one. Those are big, but you're gonna be frickin', this bottom part is gonna come out so crisp. Next, the top side. This is somewhere in the quarter realm, and maybe a fraction less. Let's call it 3/16. It's gonna weld nicely. Plenty of meat in the middle of this handle. But yeah, man, keep in mind, just tacked to show the gaps, I guess. Now, the top of the sucker. I'm gonna weld the whole top shut with a nice little indented silicon bronze cap vibe that I think is gonna be crisp on the old mighty persuader. So, please, dudes, just go, no, yeah, I understand if you're like, wow, that looks terrible. But the night is darkest before the dawn. Doesn't matter how terrible it looks now, how good it's gonna look when it's finished. I got a good vibe about this, but you gotta see the top of this frickin' thing. Look at this nightmare. Look at this. Big hole in the middle, welded around the sides. It is going to be, yeah. The top part is gonna be some exercise because the middle of that sucker has got a 1/2 inch hole and I am just gonna fill it. Not gonna cut a little piece and shove it in there. We ain't doing that, dude. We stacking, we racking, and we Cadillacing. So, most of the time in the old social media world, you just see the finished product and, well, this is how the sausage is made, as they say. today, which I'm good with, dude. That's why you dudes are here, I think. I don't know, maybe it's the witticism. Doubt it. Anyway, okay, little time-lapse footage. I'm gonna finish this baby. I'm psyched. I'm throwing on some Metallica in the headphones. I'm going lid down, and I'm gonna fully weld this baby out. So it is time for what we like to call the time-lapse coup de grace. Let's get to it. It's cool, dude. It's freaking cool to take something that is scrap metal and meant for the waste bin and make it into something that's cool and creative and fun. And you TIG, it doesn't matter. Silicon bronze doesn't matter. S2 doesn't matter. I mean, MIG welding, flux core, a $90 welder with flux core. It doesn't matter. This whole thing that we have is just a creative outlet to turn trash into treasure, which is cliche. I get it. Oh, trash into treasure. But it's like, it's scrap bin. It's literally worth $20 a ton, and you make it worth the whole world to you. You know, it's the funnest thing. I stacked all the silicon bronze welds in. I cleaned the hammer up. What are we calling this? The motivator? The motivator hammer. We cleaned it up. I'm feeling pumped about it. Here it is. Here it is. I didn't like overly clean it because they're supposed to be raw. They're tools, you know, but God, now you hear that tone in my voice, dude. That means I'm freaking rambling. But let's get to the show. What does it look like, Deco? What does it look like after you put the old finishing touch on her? Here you go, boys. Let's check this thing out. Honestly, dudes, I feel like it came out legit. And this thing is seriously built to be used. If there is something that needs to be motivated, persuaded, moved over, broken, pushed off, cracked down, smacked around, there's something that is requiring any of those items, I officially have the tool to do it. The answer is most certainly, heck yeah, dudes. You gotta see this thing compared to all my other bros. Here we go. Dudes, I gotta be honest, it's in good company and it fits right in. It seriously does. Are you kidding me? What the heck, man? All those honestly were meant for the scrap bin, and now look. Black tip peen, grandfather hatchet, the 2-pound whacker, the OG, the warhammer, and now the persuader, corona killer. All the weapons lined out, feeling right and proper. Oh gosh, dang it! I love this stuff. I seriously love it. Oh my gosh. Good times, good times, good times. All right, boys. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I say it every time, but out here just chit-chatting, welding, building, just doing this kind of thing, it's very enjoyable. It is very enjoyable for me. And so thanks for the support and the love, and hopefully you guys like it. As always, I am the mother freaking Deke, and I'm out.